welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Bekah Jo, aka the Makeup Tax Lady, and today we are doing a quick get ready with me. I have a vision of a grungy, smoky, late summer, early fall, purpley kind of look. So we're gonna do that together and we're just gonna keep things moving because I am on a schedule. So getting right into it, I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Jelly Primer. Is that what the name of this is? Power Grip Primer. This has been just a staple in my routine again this summer. There's something about it that's perfect for my skin in the summertime and I am just soaking it up. I just really love the way that this and my skin tints have been playing together lately. Also, my hair is wet and I've put some product in it to see if I can get a little natural wave out of it. So we will see through the progression of this video if that works, because it's gonna dry a bit while we are getting ready. So for my base today, I'm just gonna go with what I cannot get enough of lately. This is my Revlon Serum Tint, the Illuminance tint. It has a little bit of skincare in there and it's such a good light to medium coverage. It looks just like skin and it's not heavy, and I, like I said, cannot get enough of it. Blending this in with my damp sponge. I also have been loving this, like, not just this, but all my base products lately, using them under the eyes and not using an additional concealer. It just looks a little bit more natural, a little less makeup-y to me, and I'm just kind of embracing any discoloration or dark circles under my eyes, and I don't actually mind it. There's still the occasion, like in the most recent video that I did, where I did add some concealer, and there have been a couple days where I've worn concealer as my base, so just adding concealer under my eyes and then on some other areas of my face and blending that all out as my foundation or skin tint. Adding just a little bit of my Ensley Reign lip gloss just to give them a little moisture while we work on everything else. Now I am going in with my RCMA No Color Powder just to set everything down. Now I'm going in with my Sydney Grace Mad For You brow palette in the blonde option to add just a little bit more shape to my brows, nothing crazy. And I am setting my brows with my Half Caked Brow Gel, the shade 1.0, which is a clear shade, and putting some About Face shadow primer on my lids. By the way, if you like to see eyeshadow primer information, my friend Jana, I'll make sure she's linked in the description, she is going through an eyeshadow primer challenge where she's trying different eyeshadow primers to really see what's the best out there. It's a fun journey to watch. Using just whatever is left on that little setting brush to set the lids. And my go-to bronzer this summer has been my Ulta Beauty Baked Bronzer. I'm going to add plenty of this to the face. Okay, now we're ready for the eyes. You know the drill, we'll come back and finish blush and lips, but let's get into the eyes. So I'm really wanting to pull out my Ensley Reign Underland palette. This is such a beautiful fall time, grungy, with a splash of jewel tones in there, and it's really such a favorite for me. I love this palette so much. A lot of this palette is very deep, and we know that Bekah Jo likes midtones, light and midtones, especially for matte shadows, but even for shimmer shadows. So I think today I want to focus on this purple matte, which is Cheshire's Curse. I had to double check the name there. Cheshire's Curse. I may also dip into this deep brown called Nonsense. We will figure out what shimmers, so that's yet to come, but I may end up dipping into my Ensley Reign Lands of Enchantment palette for a lighter purple matte, which will probably be this one, which is the shade Enlightened. If you haven't seen, Ensley Reign is teasing a Lands of Enchantment 2.0 focused on Lemuria. Lemuria is this beautiful periwinkle shimmer shade down here, not doing it justice. This is a stunning shade. I'll go ahead and swatch this for you, and I don't know if we're going to use it in today's look, but I'm so excited. I don't know anything more than Instagram does about the Lands of Enchantment 2.0 palette, but if it's based on this shade Lemuria, I think it's going to be so pretty and so much fun. The shades that are missing, by the way, are in a BYOP right now. Here is a swatch of the shade Lemuria. It's so pretty. It has a shift too. I will see if I can insert any better of a swatch of that shade, but it's stunning. It's multi-sparkly periwinkle with a purple flip to it, a kind of a blue base, and then I can flip it this way for me and it gets a different flip, like a little bit more pinky. It's stunning, and the shade itself is really smooth. Okay, I'm gonna start with this Moda Pro detail brush and dip into Cheshire's Curse, and we will start by adding this shade to the outer corner of my eye. I want to try to keep this shade a little bit more controlled, so even though I want it to be like a grungy, intense, smoky eye, I don't want to lose control with the first matte shade. I wiped all the excess product off that little brush. Now I'm just gently going in and kind of blending everything that's already down. Going in with the same purple shade on kind of a pencil brush. This is a Sierra Merton brush. And just adding this to the outer third of the lower lash. Again, keeping it pretty controlled where I put it, but still blending out. And these mattes blend out spectacularly. Taking this Moda Pro large fluffy crease brush, no product on it, and just blending around the edges. Taking my Refer 13 into Enlightened, and I want this to be soft and blurred, so I grabbed a small blending brush. I want it to be kind of a whisper of a shade on the lid. I'm just gonna use that as well around the outside of our deeper purple matte. No additional product. Also starting the shade lower in the crease and then working my way up once most of the product has been deposited, so that it's not so high up and like instantly dramatic and smoky. We clearly have drama and smoke happening. Just want to keep it controlled while we're building the look. Now I'm going to take my Sydney Grace detail brush into the shade Nonsense, which is a super deep brown shade. We're going to add a little bit of this to the outer portion of the eye, and using very gentle stamping motions, and the matte just blends itself. Okay, I'm ready to grab a shimmer. For the majority of the lid, I want to use this beautiful shade Behead. Oh, it's so smooth. First of all, it is a bronzy shade, but it's got both red and purple kind of in it, and it is stunning. I'm going to start by adding this with my finger. I don't have any glitter glue or anything on my lid, and then I may use a brush to kind of help define the shimmer. I don't have any additional product. This is just a Moda shader conceal brush, excuse me, but I'm using it just to kind of push that shimmer onto the lid. It's not flaky or anything. I just want to make sure everything is smoothed out. For the innermost portion of my lid, I wiped off this brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Moonrise, and I don't need this to be like the most intense. It just kind of has the shades in it that I'm wanting. So I'm very gently tapping that onto the inner portion of my eye and very gently blending it so that it goes with the previous shimmer. but I don't want it to be like an incredibly stark contrast between the two. Bringing it a little bit into the inner corner. With this Sierra Martin brush, I'm dipping into Cosmic Flow, back from Lands of Enchantment, and I'm gonna add this to my lower lash line. Okay, I'm gonna go add my mascara, and we'll come back for blush and lips. Welcome back. The eyes could most certainly use false lashes, but that's not what we're doing today, not what I'm doing today. If you want to wear false lashes, please do. On my eyes to finish everything up, I used my Sigma Sinuosity Lash Mascara and LA Girl Perfect Precision Eyeliner in brown on the lower waterline. For blush, I want to dip into my Unearthly Spring Magic blush palette, and I want to use this shade Crystal, using my Refer 04 brush and really swirling the brush into the product and then onto my cheeks. Okay, that's nice. It's a more subtle blush, but it added some depth to the cheeks that I think we needed. So I like that. Now for lips. I have been really enjoying this lip stain lately. This is the ColourPop Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Stain. It's very comfortable on the lips. This is the shade Ice Pop. I'm gonna add this to the lips. I did just take off the little bit of gloss that was remaining. I wanna add just a little bit more definition, so this Wet n Wild gel lip liner in the shade Bear to Comment, I'm just gonna add on the outer portion of my lip. Okay, and here we have it, this late summer, early fall, grungy purple look. This hits the mark for me. I love this with a slightly peachier pop on the lips, but generally nude, and then just depth on the cheeks, maybe convincing people that I have a little bit of sun. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this look. If you liked the video, please give the video a like. And if you are new to my channel, I'd love it if you'd consider becoming a subscriber. I love doing just playing with makeup videos, and I'm feeling some inspiration lately. I've got some new palettes to my collection. Neither of these palettes are new to my collection, but I just like playing with the makeup that I have, so I'm trying to make the time to do that lately. Thank you once again so much for being here for today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one.